Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be jam-packed with a lot of information. We're going to be talking about some of the photos that got released, go through them really quick anyways. I want to mention something about the Best of Morgan series, and I also want to talk about, primarily this video is going to be about Stephanie or not Stephanie. I want to tackle that. My Comic-Con video will be coming out tomorrow. I'm only doing one video today, so this is it. Just an update because I know people have been wanting an update on my car. I actually just got it back and there's actually nothing wrong with it apparently, but what I did find out was that apparently there's some rodent tear, rodent wear on it or whatever. Apparently there's been some mice in there. So that's an interesting issue. So I'm trying to look at and see if like insurance and stuff like that can cover it, because sometimes I know things like that can, but everything seems like it's been fine. And yeah, it's a little interesting. So I'm doing this one video now. I'm going to play some Zombies Ain't My Neighbors and then start cleaning up this area here and set up the set, because I want to be in my videos next month, starting with the final season. And so, yeah, I'm trying to get all that worked out, trying to figure out the lighting. I mean, I have everything for lighting, I have the ring light and all that, but yeah. Anyways, let's jump into the photos here. Actually, instead of the photos, let's just talk about the whole Stephanie theory first, because that's what I'm really interested in right now. The Stephanie theory is that, and I thought of it too as I was doing my video yesterday. I had that thought while recording. I didn't really think of it too much, but after reading a bunch of responses and seeing a lot of people tagging me in things and stuff, like, I kind of like the idea of this, and I think it actually could work, especially if they don't come out. I mean, actually, that depends. Like, they could still announce this new actress as Stephanie. Like, they could still announce her as playing Stephanie at Comic-Con. I mean, if they're asked about the recasting of it, then that could be an issue. Like, Angela Kang would have to lie about it, right? Like, if this woman here is not Stephanie, and I guess I should explain the theory first, but if this woman is not Stephanie, but just pretending to be, like, the Commonwealth just got her to, like, she's a secret agent kind of thing, and the Commonwealth got her to pretend to be Stephanie to find out more information on Eugene because they don't trust that the real Stephanie would tell them, then yeah, I mean, that definitely is a really clever idea from them. I think it makes a lot of sense. It makes the most sense, to be honest, as to why. I mean, she was cast as Margot Bingham, and so if she's not going to be playing Stephanie, I could see how that could be changed, and it'd be a really interesting storyline. So like I was saying before, if they ask Angela Kang, like, why did you do the casting change? Then she would have to, like, how would she answer that? Like, she can't say, well, you know, like, you'll find out soon. Like, if she says that, then it's like, okay, then that confirms that storyline, right? But if she says, like, well, you know, the previous actress, the chemistry just didn't work out well, and we found whoever this woman is here, and she worked out really well, then, again, she's kind of, it's almost like she's lying about it a little bit, and Angela Kang won't do that, right? So if this ends up being true, I really wonder. I mean, first of all, if Angela Kang wants to lie about it, I definitely recommend that she does that, because, like, I feel like they should do that a little bit more to keep things hidden. I know fans might get mad at them, but, like, man, like, whenever stories are actually a surprise, it's so much fun. So if they want to lie a little bit, do it, you know, just keep the story a surprise, right? I mean, eventually at some point, they're not going to believe you anyways, but then that's good, right? Like, they can never trust your words, so they'll never know really what you're saying is the truth, and it's good. They'll have to watch the show for themselves, right? So I think this is an interesting idea if this actually isn't Stephanie. And the reason why I think it's actually interesting is because in the comic, Stephanie is, I believe, like, she meets Eugene, but she's kind of kept away from Eugene a little bit. I know Eugene is distant from her for a while, and so to see her just communicating with Eugene like it's just normal, it's a little weird. It seems like it's a little too fast. And so it makes sense that if this is a fake Stephanie, then yeah, that adds up. And I actually wonder if Eugene's going to notice anything right away, just in terms of her voice, right? That could actually be something that they reveal in, like, say, the mid-season finale, episode 5 or 6, or whenever in the first part here. Like, Eugene maybe wants to hear her sing, but she can't sing. Margot Bingham's character can sing, right? Like, her Stephanie can sing, and so right away, boom, Eugene finds out you're not really Stephanie. You're, like, where is she? And then we find out she's being held captive because she communicated with someone, like, she did something illegal, basically, right? So she's held captive, and yeah, I think that would be a really interesting storyline. I think having her singing early on, having her singing that again here, if she can't do that, if the voice is different, that could tell Eugene right there that, okay, something's going on here. And maybe Eugene doesn't even tell her that. Maybe Eugene is just like, I mean, that's the weird thing about it, right? If they're talking about stuff, Eugene's going to have to bring up different things like, oh, do you remember when we talked about this? Do you remember this? And so he could find out right away if it's not her. It would be hard for her unless she knows everything that Stephanie said, then yeah, that would be, I don't know. But the theory's interesting. I definitely like the idea that maybe this isn't actually Stephanie. Maybe this is a fake Stephanie and that the real Stephanie is held captive somewhere. And so I can't wait to see how this is going to play out. I think this is a really cool idea. And it's something different. I mean, I've never really seen them do a storyline like this that I remember anyways. A lot of shows do things like this, though. Like, a lot of movies actually do stuff like this, but The Walking Dead's never done it, so I think it would be kind of cool. Anyways, let's move on to, actually, I just want to mention one thing here. The Best of Morgan series. Now, I just wanted to clarify, because I got a few comments about that, or people were asking me, like, is that out? Is it out? But what it actually is it's not a Walking Dead origin series. That's starting on the 15th. So next Thursday, I'll have my review out for that day. But what this is, like the Best of Morgan, it's not a part of the Walking Dead origin series. It's literally just a collection of the best episodes of Morgan just throughout The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. It's available on AMC Plus. There's actually 7 episodes. And it's just the best episodes that he's been in. It tells the story of Morgan and just really shows off Lenny James's acting, how amazing and brilliant he is, why he is one of my favorite characters on the show, on both shows. Well, actually, I'd say he's like my #1 favorite character on Fear for sure. On The Walking Dead, he's in my top 5, like definitely. I mean, it's Lenny James. I mean, that guy's inspirational as hell, right? So yeah, just wanted to comment on that a little bit. The next thing is the character photos here. This is actually more of, I guess, part of yesterday's reveal that I didn't get a chance to get to here. There's this shot here of Daryl. This is him in the subway tunnel. There's a lot of quotes to this here, which I guess I can get through really fast here. This quote here says, "A man of few words, Daryl is forthright, weary, guarded, and most of all, strategic. His nomadic nature allows him to navigate the familiar and unfamiliar. The divide with Carol is an issue they must address, but food and supplies take precedence. A word to the wise, never mess with his dog." So yeah, that's basically all the synopsis is in here. They're set up for the characters for the start of the season, so that makes sense. Like, that's exactly where we were at. The next shot here is of Carol, and the synopsis for the character here says, "Carol is steadfast in her priorities to help rebuild Alexandria and keep all within its walls and protected and fed. But others see the means to survival differently. She will always go to greater lengths to protect herself, her family, and her community." So yeah, I mean, that's kind of, that makes sense. Like, that's exactly where the character is at right now. And I'm interested in seeing how it's going to change when they do find Connie, how things are going to be different there, and how Connie's going to react to Carol. I mean, Connie's so sweet. Like, I you know, she almost died, but I feel like she's probably just going to forgive Carol immediately. Be like, no, it's okay. I understand you were, you know, and if she does, I mean, man, she's going to be up there as one of my favorite characters. Like, she can't, like, man, I wouldn't blame Carol for, like, you know, getting pissed at Connie, I wouldn't blame Connie for getting really pissed off at Carol and just being like, you don't come around me anymore. Cause, like, man, what Connie has had to go through, almost dying because of Carol, like, if I was Connie, I would be pissed. Oh, I would do a lot more than just get mad. Like, I would be really pissed off if I was there. Anyways, we go to the next shot here, and this is of Judith, and I believe that's Gracie in the back, right? But I think that's Gracie, unless it's a different kid. I don't really know what Gracie looks like, but I know she has that color hair, and I mean, they could change the actress every season, so who knows? But the synopsis says, "A child of the apocalypse, Judith is stronger than her years would indicate. She continues to hold her head high and fight with might for all to live. She feels the pressure of possibly being the only one left in her immediate family. This is a heavy load to carry at any age." And that is exactly true. And it looks like Judith has a different little hairstyle. Her hair's in like a, because before she had like the braid and then like it was down on one side, but here it's like a ponytail. And yeah, the pressure here that she feels of being the only one left in her immediate family, it's her and RJ. So is she going to grow up without them? Who knows when Michonne and Rick are going to come back? Like they could find out they're still alive, but, you know, she might have to raise RJ on her own. And that might be a big part that, you know, Judith has to grow up in the apocalypse on her own. And so in the future, that could be a huge, like, I don't know, if they do a future Walking Dead series and we see Rick back in there, say he doesn't die, and he's old, right? Like, he's really old. And maybe he comes back when Judith is like 16. She still had to raise herself for years, and it wasn't Rick's fault. But, you know, I don't know. I think the way Michonne left in that sense, I wouldn't blame Michonne either. But, like, I know if I was a parent, I would at least have to go back and see. go back and bring all this stuff and tell everyone and be like, this is why I'm leaving. Are you guys going to be okay? And just like I know she was on a walkie-talkie. I know if Michonne had a choice, she probably would go back. It was more because of the writing, but it's just weird because like if I was a parent, I'd be like, well, no, I gotta go say goodbye to them. When I said goodbye to them before, I thought I was just leaving for a little bit. I have to go. I have to show them what I found. I gotta tell everyone what I found, and maybe we can just see what we can all do, right? Maybe I won't just go out in there and do that, but then again, all the Walking Dead characters are like that. Like, they all want to go out on their own to do stuff. So the next shot here is of Eugene, and the synopsis says, a risk taker in his own unique way, Eugene carries a great amount of guilt. He is aware of the consequences of every decision he has ever made or will make in the future. In this constant emotional state, is his mind capable of trusting what he says and what he sees? And yeah, he must be feeling really scared and guilty, because if the Commonwealth is really bad, he just got his entire group in a whole bunch of shit. I mean, yeah, if I was him, I'd be stressed out as hell right now. And then we got Yumiko here. The quote says, or the synopsis for her character says, Yumiko's strength is her intellect and it serves her well. Captured, she has little tolerance for the questioning by the troopers. She is unlike anyone they have questioned before, allowing her to look at the situation in a different light, while shedding light on the inner workings of her new surroundings. And yeah, that's her whole legal and lawyer side to it. I mean, she's going to be able to see how all this is working when she learns how everything operates, because she is a lawyer. I mean, I don't know how many lawyers they're going to have there. I mean, she could be really brilliant. I mean, in the comic, Michonne's a lawyer. She eventually becomes a judge, and she's like the judge, like the head judge. And so I can see Yumiko rising like that. And I mean, I think that would be a really cool arc for that character, honestly. And then we have this photo here of Princess, and it says, no matter how dire the situation, Princess believes things will work out for the best. Her head may be in the clouds, but her coping skills are dialed in to how life really works in the apocalypse. If she were to listen to her inner dialogue, she might realize her instincts and observations could be the key to solving most of their problems. So, I mean, that's more of a Princess aspect to it, but yeah, that's interesting. We have Ezekiel here, and it says, a zookeeper who became king, a man with cancer who has undying optimism. Ezekiel has always helped those around him and himself to live better and be better. Still captured by the troopers, Ezekiel feels he has made a grave mistake, and I hope Ezekiel can beat that. I believe he can. I really do. I think that's not, if Ezekiel dies, that's not what's going to kill him. It's going to be old age, or it's going to be Sebastian Milton. It's not going to be that. I believe he will be fine. I think that the Commonwealth, they have stuff to help him. He's going to be fine. It's just, you know, it's that whole aspect to it. And I hope Ezekiel gets a really big arc in the final season, because he hasn't really since season 9. So yeah, I look forward to seeing more from this character. He's awesome. He's an awesome character. Speaking of another awesome character, here's Jerry, and his synopsis says, Jerry is vigilant. His confidence and leadership are without question. His effervescence, what the hell does that say? Effervescence, I guess, at times is the only light in the dark world, but do not mistake his levity for weakness. And yeah, it seems like Jerry's going to be staying back at Alexandria and holding fort for now. And I mean, I think that's probably the best thing for his character right now, just because if he were to go on that trip, he's not going to get a lot of screen time. I mean, he won't unless they go back to Alexandria, but because he's like one of the main characters back at Alexandria, they're going to go back. We're going to see Jerry and I guess Judith and RJ and stuff, right? Because I guess they're not going to be on this trip either. That's what's actually interesting about like Judith and RJ, is that they don't bring the kids out ever. I mean, I guess they never took Carl out after a while, right? Like as soon as Carl went out there, he got bit, right? So I guess it makes sense, but it's interesting because yeah, they don't take the kids out anywhere. Whereas in the earlier seasons, I mean, I felt like Carl was everywhere they went. Even at the prison, he went out with them places and stuff. But I guess back then they were just trying to figure things out. And yeah. Anyways, I got this article here that shows all the photos from Insider, so I'll leave a link down below if you want to check it out. But it's interesting. I definitely am really excited for the season. The season's starting very soon. But I'll leave it here. Post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.